Details on a bride in a recent article in Cosmopolitan. A wedding coordinator sent out an email to the bride's guests with a list of rules and regulations. And if weddings aren't stressful enough, take a look at what this Bridezilla is demanding from her guests. Here's a full screen list of the first 5. Please arrive 15 to 20 minutes early. Please do not wear white, cream, or ivory. Please do not wear anything other than a basic bob or ponytail. And do not record during the ceremony. So that's the first 5.
Okay, I'm good with about 3 out of 5 of those.
There's more right here. Don't check in on Facebook until instructed. Use hashtags redacted when posting all pictures. I don't know what that means.
It means they didn't want to put the name. Because you know how people do hashtag, like hashtag Cornet Wedding? They don't want to put the name and show the identity.
Oh, there you go.
So just imagine a name there.
This one is the one I got to kick out the most. Do not talk to the bride at all. Everyone's going to toast, but with Remy, no exceptions. And lastly, you better come with a gift of $75 or more if you want to be admitted in.
That is ridiculous. Okay, so I'll take about half of those.
I feel like I'm glad that she made these very clear because now people have an excuse to RSVP no to the wedding. They can leave. Like, I commend her for being so upfront about this. I think if that's your expectation, you might as well tell everyone what you're expecting because then they know how to behave or they can just politely excuse themselves from this. But this is absolutely ridiculous and I would not personally want to
So I had a wedding and you're spending so much money. You have your hopes and your dreams into this special day. So I can relate to some of it. One of the ones being like arriving early, 15 to 20 minutes early. You don't want people arriving after the bride because that is not okay.
Absolutely.
I like the one where they were saying like no cell phones. Like I personally had no cell phones at my ceremony because people getting away. Like some of these I can work with. I do think the gift thing is a little too far. And they said don't talk to the bride at all. Now as a bride, it was stressful because you're like a politician. At the same time, though,
you're the star of the day.
And the point of being there is to connect with people and share a moment together. So if you're telling me not to talk to you, how are we going to share this moment?
Well, I only think is if you put that much pressure on that one day of life, the hangover afterwards, it's going to be very problematic if you're putting that much emphasis on this going perfectly. There's life that comes after that. And if you're that invested in what this one day is going to be like, how are you going to be moving forward? I feel for the significant other, if it wasn't, in fact, a couple who put this together, that other person is in for a very long life because this person seems to be it. It could be the bride, could be the groom, could be, you never know, could be both. I doubt it. It seems like it's one. The other one's going to be in for a long ride.
Just within the last few months, that's when I've heard about people expecting a certain dollar amount for their gifts. Like, I'm sure everyone secretly hopes that they're getting an amount, but I've heard of people kind of telling their friends, like, yeah, you better spend at least $100 if you come to my wedding, which I think sucks because, I mean, come on, you know, you didn't choose that food. How do you know that you're actually going to want to eat the food that's there?
That's how much all food costs, though. Like, if I am paying for you, usually like $100 a plate, like that's kind of typical at a wedding.
I feel like
that's
most wedding food is worth $10.
Yeah, I know it's usually not that good, but your option is chicken, fish, or a vegetarian. That's your option.
There you go. Yeah, planning a wedding is expensive. They got to look to make up for it one way or another.
I am. Well, I guess I wouldn't say surprised, but I am happy. We'll go with that emotion. So I knew that Nike had a big brand, and I trust this company to definitely be doing their research and making a good decision. However, for it to go up, I thought maybe it would just be stable. I think that's what I mean. I thought it would just be like, it will stay the same.
Yeah, you know, when I saw this initially, I knew with Colin Kaepernick, when they made this decision, everyone said, what a huge risk by Nike. Nike, this was calculated risk. They knew what it was going to be like on the other side. Now, with everything, as you're measuring margins and revenue, is it sustainable? We'll have to see. This is only the cycle of where it's at right now, and it's proving beneficial. But Nike knew that the people who align themselves with Kaepernick were the main audience and consumer for their brand. So they knew that this would be on brand for them, and those people who are burning their Nikes or said they're never going to buy them again, it's such a small niche of who their consumer is, and that's why you're seeing so much success.
And you mentioned people that are burning their Nikes. The thing that I love most about seeing the success of this is that those people, it doesn't matter what they think anymore. I feel the same way about this as I did when like gay marriage was legalized. It was like all those people who were like, is it right? Is it wrong? Like I'm against it. Like we don't care anymore because they won. They're allowed to be like married when they're gay. And so it's the same thing with this. You know what I mean? Like if someone's against what Colin Kaepernick did, it doesn't matter because Nike is clearly having no trouble making making profits.
Yeah,
in this
can they sustain
situation.
it will be the question to see here. But they made a gamble on something that they thought would be taking the right stance. I happen to be in full agreement of it. There's obviously a faction that's not. But I guess it speaks to the consumer and who the consumer is, and they're clearly having a voice here, and they're showing it by putting dollars behind it. So really cool stuff there. Online sales is through the roof as well. So very interesting thing to monitor as we move forward with Nike. So
It is going too
definitely.
far. I find myself, and so usually a child, a baby's either crying or a child is like, hey, mom, look, pay attention, look at what I did, versus a dog who may not have words, but they're in your face, they're trying to get your attention too, and sometimes we do just kind of ignore them.
I can tell my dog gets sad when I'm on my phone too much, and honestly, it does make us happier playing with our dogs than being on our phones for much of the time.
Yeah.
I think sometimes I'll just force myself to put my phone down and just like hang out with him, and it like just lightens your mood. I feel like so often we can look at social media and we're
100%.
comparing our lives, we're looking at other people's highlight reels, and it bums us out and ultimately makes us feel worse than if we were just playing with our pet. So I think this is a good reminder. We need to just hang out with Fido.
yeah, well, there's also another option you can make. You can take your animal and you can involve them in your social media, which is kind of what I decided to do. I started a new Instagram page here. Check out my new Instagram page, everybody. It's called @TheyBarkJustLikeUs. I figured people love celebrities, people love dogs, so why not include celebrities with their dogs? This is a one-stop shop for it all. You got Oprah right there.
Oh, there
you
we
get a
go.
dog, you get a dog. Oprah enjoying a brisk walk with her stunning golden Luke. I'm a golden retriever owner. So maybe get your dog involved. If you look at my own Instagram page @TheJordanCornette, you can see, as I'm pumping everything right here, you can see me and my dog on there. So maybe you involve your dog in what you're doing.
Yes, on my Instagram page, official Felicia, you can find my dog as well. I'm just kidding.
If only our dogs,
I just love it.
If only they understood we're running their Instagram pages. We're trying to get those bills. We're trying to get those sponsorships. Try to, get them more treats. I mean, if we could only explain that to them, it would just make so much more sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Micro cheating is when your significant other doesn't actually cheat, but they do things like going on dating websites just to check out things or developing friendships that come a little close to crossing the line on the tech side. This is a tech-based form of cheating, so micro plays off two things: the tech side of it, but also it being not macro cheating, not a huge cheating per se as we know, not going all that way. So what do you guys think? Is there such a thing, are you buying into this being a thing that could potentially split up relationships?
I mean,
micro
for sure it can split up a relationship, but it's such a sliding scale, right? It's not technically cheating. Maybe there's no physical contact, but that's a really bad sign if your significant other or you are going on dating websites just to see what's out there, I think that, be happy with what you have. And if you're really curious about how dating websites work, which being in a relationship, I actually was, because I got into a relationship before dating websites became the main way that people meet each other. So I'm not gonna get on a dating website myself. I'm gonna creep on my friends or my sister's dating websites and see what it's like on there. But I've heard of people kind of signing up themselves just to check it out. And I think that's a really bad excuse, and you should just check out your friends.
I think it's playing with fire. You have to look at your own situation, and it's a case of make sure you water your own grass. You can always look and see the neighbor's grass on the other side is greener. Nope. I would say focus on your own grass and what you have going on. And that curiosity should not outweigh you wanting to keep your relationship safe.
Yeah, and it sounds like to me what I'm viewing as micro cheating is an emotional cheating. I mean, it's not investing, it's taking money out of your relationship and putting it elsewhere. So you're not investing in what you're doing. So I think it's hurtful. And I think if you're at risk of hurting your partner, then it's cheating in some capacity. And it's something I wouldn't endorse.
Yeah, and figure out why you're doing that, I would say too. Figure out what's missing in your relationship. Are you not getting enough attention? Talk to your partner about that, and don't go. It's just, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. You're better than that.
I want to know, if you pay more money, do you get a better man or something like that? If you pay more money,
maybe
do you get
a better match.
a better partner?
Yeah.
Do they make more money? They're a better fit, better career, you get a doctor versus, I don't know, another career that's not as flashy or something like that? Just more money. A bigger investment yield, a bigger result.
Yeah. What's the ROI with these dating coaches here?
I feel like, this is all about optimizing your life, right? So we optimize our lives in many other ways. And I think this is just about, you're busy, you don't have time. This is potentially the most important experience of your life. This is maybe someone that you're going to get married to, have children with. Why not take the extra steps to make it happen? I think that people are obsessed with it seeming like a fairy tale, and it's just a random meeting this person. But the reality is, a lot of us use new ways to meet our partners now that we would have never thought about before, and that maybe our parents haven't tried. Even just dating apps like we were talking about, that's a new way. So I'm all about this. I mean, especially if you don't have that much time, you need some help meeting someone.
Yeah.
Why not hire someone? Why not outsource that and then just like sift through the matches? That sounds a lot easier than dating in the wild.
Jordan, you pro or against?
I'd be for the dating coach if they're just going out there and finding that pool of potential women.
Okay.
In my case, obviously I'm taken. But if for finding that specific pool of women, I'd want the dating coach. I would want somebody to teach me how I should be on the dates or what works and what doesn't work. Be very skeptical, because then at that point you're taking away from who you truly are and you're offering up smoke and mirrors to the other person, and that's not okay.
Well,
I'd want it to be as organic as humanly possible.
Maybe it's like the movie Hitch. Remember that? With Will Smith?
Yeah. Well,
That was cute.
cute.
Okay, so
everybody doesn't find Eva Mendes at the end of the story.
Yeah.
I'm married. I don't need this for dating. I need this for friendship. You know, I don't have any friends. I've moved around so many times.
You're from here.
I've left friends all around the country. Like,
That's
I need to
actually
pay
true.
to, like, it's so much harder when you're an adult.
so much harder.
Because everyone's in their careers, everyone's like in their own zone of just living their life and being productive and getting things done.
Yeah.
When do I have time to meet people?
What about Bumble BFF?
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah, so it's like
What?
it kind of
There's a
ties
thing
into
for
our last
everything.
discussion, the dating app where you can swipe left or right for friendships.
So there's an app for this?
I don't know if you have to be single
Okay,
to be on it,
we're
but
gonna-
that's a thing. We should try it.
Oh, so it's not
We
for
should try it
BFF.
on
You know
the
what I'd
show. Let's
suggest?
get through
You
it.
know what I would suggest is Uber. You don't like talking in Ubers.
No.
Maybe you can make a friend while they're
Maybe that's why I don't have. I'm too mean.
Get
I'm
a
not
lift
good at
line.
meeting people.
Maybe just be nicer. Is there an app for that?
I talk to my mom every
You're
single
really
day.
close with your mother, but I wouldn't call
Every
that. I
single
would not
day.
call that unhealthy, though. I think that's healthy. I think
I
you should have that
mean, we
mother
like
dialogue.
it, so that's why we keep doing
Then
it.
that shouldn't be
I know we spend a lot of. I think it's more than normal. I'll say like normal. We do more than normal.
One thing is for certain.
What is normal though?
Miss Mama
Yeah.
Lawrence is watching the show, so
Hey,
let's all give her a
Mom!
wave.
Yay!
She does-
I've heard she watches all the
She
time.
does not.
she does.
You're not truly part of the
does.
family till you meet her, so we got to make sure that happens.
You guys, my mom
As we
live
welcome
streams
Jen.
the show from another
Oh,
state.
Hey, Mom!
Hopefully she's watching today.
I guess that's a conversation. Like, look how you guys
Yeah.
light up when you talk about family
Yeah.
members. If that's generating a happiness, then there's
Yeah.
no way there should be any kind of dialogue on trying to cut that out of your life. My fiance is super close with her mother. Her mother was the one who pretty much raised her, so they have that bond. And sometimes she can definitely be more present in everything. But I've learned to embrace that because it's
Yeah.
what makes my fiance happy, and I happen to really like her mother, so I enjoy it. I guess is that family toxic? If the family's toxic,
Yeah, then it's too
very
much.
different. I lean on my family for a lot. I lost my brother 2 years ago to a heart attack, and when you lose one, you realize how much you want to max out and make the most of having them
Yeah.
in your life.
Yeah,
So
when
to
you
me,
get older, you look at it different.
yeah, so to me, it feels like a negative conversation in terms of if you got good family, just like if you got good people. You
Yeah,
want
why
them
not
How often
sprinkle
do you
in as
talk-
much as possible.
How often do you talk to your mom?
I talk to her every day.
Really?
That's by
Jordan,
her-
now
that's
if
by
I
her
call
design.
her, is she gonna tell me that?
You want receipts? Absolutely. But
I
I don't
want
only call.
receipts.
I don't only call. I FaceTime. I like to.
What
I like to
about
see
your
her pretty
dad?
face.
Because guys are different.
I'll talk to my dad as well. They live together. They're a happily married couple. But my dad's not as interesting. It's my mom.
It's your mom.
It's just so great to talk to them too, because I feel like they encourage you.
Yeah.
It's such a positive thing. It's
Yeah,
so good. It's so good.
It's just like, and again, I go back to if you've got a father or a mother or a cousin or a brother who makes your life worse off, then you should probably have some boundaries, some rules
Yeah.
in how you engage.
100%.
Yeah.
But if there are people that are adding to your life and enhancing it, by all means, you should embrace
Yeah, and they always say that like communal societies are the ones that are actually happier.
Yes.
So I mean, talk to your family, keep them close, keep your friends close, and we're not in this journey alone.
We're one big happy family.